I came to Dixon on the group of people that had gone to graduate school in San Miguel, and we all ended up here in Dixon. So that's kind of how I got connected to this little town, and been here for over 40 years now. The stone yard and the gallery, it was a vacant piece of land on the highway, and it belonged to Wendy Berghofer, who was on the fire department with me. I was the fire chief at the time, and I just asked him what he was doing with that piece of land, and he said nothing. And I said, "Do you mind if I start something there?" He says, "No, be my guest." And that's kind of where it started. And I built a shop here and a studio first, and then about 13 years ago, Betsy and I, my wife, decided to add the gallery onto the front of it. That's what we have going here now. So it's a studio and a gallery space and a place where people can learn to carve stone and buy tools and see my work, Betsy's work, Jane Burke's work, and Susu Knight's work, Jamie Lang's work. Those are our major gallery people that we represent. My friend Kazutaka Uchida from Japan, we also represent him in the United States. So it was not too long ago that we decided that we wanted to expand our scope here a little bit, because we've been teaching stone carving. This would have been our 20th year that we've been teaching stone carving classes. And we decided that maybe we could start teaching other classes and bring in guest artists and expand our offerings a little bit. And so Betsy applied for and got granted a 501c3 status. So now we have access to grants, and it's an educational 501c3. So right now we're in the process of gathering ideas from people around town and out of town about what they would like to see happen here. So we have 3 or 4 proposals that we're considering right now. And since the colleges are closed, we thought we would concentrate on those things that ordinarily would have to be inside a building, or that we can offer outside a building, because we have the space to do that. So we thought it might be a good fit to do things that we can do in the fresh air where it's a little healthier. So that's kind of where we're at, and we'll see how that develops. I think I took place in the second studio tour and maybe the third. I think I maybe missed the first, and then I think I missed a lot of them in between, maybe 10 years worth, when I was basically doing mostly heavy-duty construction stuff, and I wasn't really doing that much, enough art to be on a studio tour. And then I think I've been on it fairly continuously for the last maybe 25 years. But the first studio tour was interesting. It was a small group of people, and we were all more or less professional artists, or we had all gone to art school. And it was a big surprise when we put our $100 ad in the newspaper, and hundreds of people showed up on that weekend, and that was sort of the beginning of the first studio tour. And it's gotten to be a big event, as everybody knows. Now we have hundreds of people that come through on the weekend, and it accounts for a large portion of our yearly income, and it's offered a lot of exposure that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, because a lot of people see your work, and it's a lot of word of mouth, which is one of the best things about the studio tours, that a lot of people get to see your work, and if you do good work and you do it year after year, then you will automatically build yourself a clientele and a group of collectors, And I think over the years, the studio tour has expanded its the kinds of work that gets shown now. It's a little bit more community-based. That's good, I think, in a lot of ways. I think the thing that made the Dixon Studio Tour so popular and so sustainable is that it's got usually high-quality work, and the town itself is really an interesting place, and people get to see studios that don't look like they're, sheetrock places cut out of some sort of cardboard blueprint somewhere, and they get to see a lifestyle as well as a person's artwork. So it gives people a complete picture of what it's like to be a creative artist.